everyone? I'm Tony with RCHelp.com, and today's video we're going to continue on with the Back to Basics series with the Icon 2 gyro. What we're going to be doing today is setting up a model in our DX9 and getting the Icon ready to program. Now guys, the setup on the DX9 for the Icon is going to be almost exactly the same for the DX8 Generation 1 and Generation 2 for the DX6i, the DX6, DX7, DX7S. It's going to be pretty much the same because it's extremely simple to go into the radio and set up a model for the Icon gyro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive up close and I'll show you exactly how to set up a model in your radio to get this Icon ready for programming. Alright guys, so here we are up close with the DX9. Now all we got to do is we've got to click the top of the roller. Remember, always click the top and never the bottom. Click the top of the roller and go ahead and turn our radio on. Now that we're in the System Setup menu, we're going to go down to Model Select. And we're going to select Add New Model. Now this may be different in some radios. Take for example the DX6i. In that one you have 10 model presets and you'll just select one of those model presets. So we're going to go ahead and click Add New Model. We want to create it, yes. Now we're going to go down to Model Type. As you can see, it's on Quad. So we're going to go to Helicopter. All data will be reset, yes. And now I want to do something just to keep you guys from hearing that extremely loud beep. We're going to go ahead and go to the main screen.
Normal mode.
Now I'm going to go ahead and click the back button, and if you watch the battery bar right here, once I click it, it's going to go into your volume, and I'm going to turn that volume down to 10. And if you listen, whenever I click this roller,
Volume 10.
it says volume 10, and it lowers the volume to where it's not as loud here in the studio. Whenever you're out at the field, I highly suggest this be at 50% or higher. So now, just to make it easy on myself, I'm going to go ahead and shut the radio off. We're going to push and hold the roller again, turn it back on. And now we're going to go down and we're just going to give this model a name. Now I'm not going to make you guys sit through this, so I'm going to go ahead and put a name in here real quick. Alright, and as you can see, I just named it 450 Dominator Icon. That way I know what helicopter it's with and what gyro it's running with, because I do swap these gyros out on this helicopter. It's kind of like my test helicopter. So now that we've got the name in there, we'll go ahead, scroll all the way back to back, click our roller. Now we're back in here and that model now has a name. If we go into Model Select, as you can see, it says 450 Dominator Icon. So I'll go ahead and click the back button to get out of there because we don't want to change. And we'll go into Swash Type. Now if you guys are used to the old radios, you're going to have one servo 90 degree, 3 servos 120, and then some of these, you're not going to have all of these. Now on radios like the DX8 Gen 2 and all of those, normal mode is going to be your 1 servo 90 degree. So we want to make sure that we are on normal mode. And to verify that, you can see that right down here. And then once we're done in here, all we have to do is go back up here to List and go back. If we click on Next down here, that's some advanced features that we don't need to get into for the Back to Basics series. So we'll go ahead and go back up to List. Your F mode setup, guys, go in and set this up. Now this one right here, the switch 1, that's going to be our idle up, and I'm using this switch right here. Now if you look up here on the top of it, this switch right here is going to correspond to this number, and as you can see, it's a letter B. This one here is A, that's this one, and then the bind button is going to be I. Now an easy way to select your switch, I'm going to go ahead and move this switch right here, and if I move that switch, as you can see, it moved to switch D. If I click on the trainer button, as you can see, it goes to I. I want this switch right here as my idle up, so I'll go ahead and just flip it, and it automatically goes to B. Go ahead and click out of that. Switch 2 we don't need to enable, but you need to come down here into your hold switch, and on my radio I use this switch right back here. So what we're going to do is click it, move that switch, and it's automatically going to go to switch H. Now these down here are when it's going to be activated. Right now, as you can see, it's highlighted. If I switch it down, it comes over here. The one that is not highlighted means it's not going to be active. But if it is highlighted and I flip that switch, it's automatically going to go over here to H, or hold. So let's say I'm in idle up 2. I'll just go ahead and flip it over there. If I hit the hold switch, which you can see from right here, it'll automatically jump it to hold. It doesn't matter what position switch B is in. I can put it in idle 1, and if I get rid of hold, as you can see, it goes to flight mode 1. So guys, set the hold switch up. It is your lifesaver. I can assure you, if you lose your tail, hit the hold switch, it'll stop pirouetting, and you can have somewhat of a chance of getting that helicopter back down. So now that we're done there, we'll go back up to List. Spoken flight mode, we need to do nothing in there. Channel assign, we're using all stock channels. Now your trim setup is going to be for flybar heads. It's not really going to be for a flybarless gyro, especially not the Icon. Your model utilities we're not going to use. Warnings, if you want to put some stuff in here where if you don't have hold mode turned on, as you can see here, hold is highlighted right here. We want hold mode on, and we need to be in normal mode so that this thing doesn't spool up on us. I wouldn't have had a hot start on my Nitro if I'd have had this enabled. But as you can see, if I flip off the hold mode, it comes down here. I'm on idle 1. So it will not power up the radio until I am in normal mode and I have that hold mode switch turned on. You can do the same thing for your gyro, your governor. You can also select custom channels so that if you have something else that you want to verify, you can go in here and you can set that up. Now, of course, you've got your voice and vibe, and you can go all the way down to just a tone, vibe, tone and vibe, voice, voice and vibe. Those are your options, and I highly suggest just putting it on voice and vibe because it'll vibrate it if you can't hear it. You could put it on tone and vibe too, I guess. And then your throttle, guys, 10% is about the max that I suggest on this. Come on, you blur bag, work with me. So go back up into list. Telemetry, we're not setting up. Pre-flight setup, guys, if you want to go through a checklist, go in here and you can set this up. You know, is your canopy attached? Is your receiver battery tested? Is it, you know, do you have enough voltage in it or whatnot? Is your fuel tank full for you Nitro guys? Test your controls. This one right here, that is a very handy feature because a lot of times people will set these things up and they'll do it in a hurry and left aileron will end up being right aileron. So that's really good. We're not going to set it up in here because it would take away from the video. But guys, I highly suggest that you guys come in here and do some of these, and then you have to go through and check them off whenever you turn your radio on. So we'll go ahead, click the back button again. On your frame rate, I'm going to be using a DSMX receiver, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it on 22 milliseconds. There's absolutely no reason with my piloting skills that I need to go to 11 millisecond, but I will be using a DSMX satellite receiver on this. So we'll go ahead and go back. Your bind, we're going to get into this in our next video. I'm going to show you guys how to bind this radio to the Icon gyro with a satellite only. Your trainer, we're not doing that one, and this one right now, this one right here is if you're setting up for your own helicopter. Then you got analog, digital, center tone, sound utilities, system settings. None of this we're going to be using. So now we can go back up here, click on main screen, and I actually had my hold mode in the wrong position. This is hold off, that's hold on. So what I need to do is we'll click that roller, scroll all the way down here to system setup. We'll go back in here. We'll go into warnings, and over here we're going to select that one. Apparently I had that wrong last time. The highlighted one, if it is on it, it's going to throw a warning. So now if I go ahead, come back up to list, go back up here to main screen, go ahead and click into it. I've got my throttle hold on. It's not off. I have it on. I have this one off, and just to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put it in idle 1. I'm going to go ahead and turn my hold mode off, and I'm going to give it a little bit of throttle. So if we hit main screen, throttle high, so we'll go ahead and lower the throttle. As you can see, we're in mode 1. I'll go ahead and flip this one all the way back. And as you can see, hold position is in 0. We need it in 1. Once I flip that, everything's where it's supposed to be. The radio fires up and we're ready to go. So guys, I hope that helps you out in setting up a model for the Icon gyro into the DX9. Again, the DX9, the DX8 Generation 2, the second generation DX7, they're all going to be pretty much exactly the same. The main key points is go in, set your model, make sure it's a helicopter, give it a name so you know what model is doing what onto what helicopter, and then go down and set up your hold switch. Guys, that is one of the most important things you can do is setting up that hold switch. And then go down and set up your warnings. Like I showed, I had idle up on, I had my throttle up a little bit, and I had my hold mode off. And with all 3 of those, it threw 3 different warnings. I took one warning away at a time, and then eventually it went ahead, it booted up the radio, and we're ready to go. And just remember guys, on the Icon gyro, 1 servo 90 degrees is normal in these radios. So select normal, that's all you need to do. All the mixing is done inside the gyro. And now we get to go on to programming. So guys, I hope this video is helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, guys, click that subscribe button. We're going to have a lot more of these back to basic videos coming up real soon. And also, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about this series. YouTube has a brand new algorithm and it's all about interaction. If you hit like, if you hit dislike, if you leave a comment, that's all interaction and it helps us out here on YouTube. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, post them down in the comment section as well. And I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.